Guess what? We're shitty people, Joel. It's been that way for a long time.
No, we are survivors.
This is our chance.
It is over, Tess!
Looking back on our lives, we may ask ourselves, if I had more time, what would I have done differently? The future that lies before us is one shrouded in mystery, and with Naughty Dog's The Last of Us, we're given a tale of a man and a young girl who must travel across a country frozen in the past in hopes of securing humanity's future. The question is, does The Last of Us paint a better tomorrow for gaming?
Ready? Guess we'll find out.
It's not always that we get a game that competes with the emotional tales of something like a movie or even a book, but The Last of Us gives us a story that not only feels real and heartfelt, but also engaging and gritty. This journey put in the hands of the player follows the life of Joel Miller, a strong, capable and rather resourceful man, but with Joel's many skills comes a dark and rather brooding past, one that he'd rather probably keep a secret. Joel has gone through a lot in his life, and has seen and experienced many things, but what he doesn't know is that it's up to him to save the world, even if he'd rather see it burn.
You're right.
What we have here is the character study of a man who, in all honesty, could just turn his back on humanity. But even after all the pain, all the misfortune, he continues to fight on because of the courage and passion of one little girl, a girl named Ellie. Joel and Ellie's adventure across the infected American wastelands is a special case of a story that brings with it many lessons. Lessons that our heroes and other survivors will come to learn. It asks the player if they would do what it takes to give their life to save the last shavings of Earth's population that have pretty much just turned its back on each other. What's truly profound about this 14-hour experience is that it gives us a journey that runs perfectly along its timeline. It knows when to make you laugh, and it also knows when to make you cry. You'll appreciate the things Joel and Ellie teach you along their path of salvation, and even smile during the moments they teach each other, just how important it is to have someone there with you through these hard times.
Teamwork.
During the trails made through Joel and Ellie's time together, they will come across many unique people, some that share our protagonist's hopes and dreams, and some that don't. Unlike other games though, The Last of Us slows down to take time in showing all sides of these different strangers. The thing you'll actually find happening is that by the end of each time Ellie and Joel spend with these people, we'll actually see them shed their initial shield that hid the truths of their past. While The Last of Us is a dark and at times tormenting place, it finds time to show you that there are people in this game's world that still hold a beacon of hope, even if most seem not to. It helps you, the player, push ever onwards, and will make you attach to these characters like in no other game before it.
I hate bad dreams.
Yeah, me too.
For instance, Ellie's pretty new to the hard turn humanity has taken. With only Joel by her side, it is fascinating and touching to see her grow as the story moves forward.
I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now.
Alright, I've actually never heard that.
On the other hand, we have Joel, who has experienced enough of both worlds to be fair, but just like Ellie, Joel begins to grow into a person we can deeply connect with. His decisions throughout might be questionable, yet they are always relatable. In a way, you could say that The Last of Us presents as a showcasing of humanity we never usually see in games.
I get into trouble down there. You make every shot count.
To be honest, the story and how it's formulated is pretty near perfect, but there is one thing that picked up my mind. Without giving away any spoilers, Joel and Ellie's journey is chopped up into 3 different segments based on the year's season. When the duo are done with a certain location, it obviously takes some time to travel to their next destination. The problem here is that we miss out on what happened during those transitions, and in some ways the story and its character development missed out a lot of opportunities in doing so. In a way, I'd have loved to have seen more of this potential father and daughter relationship, having Joel take Ellie to an abandoned cinema to see her first movie, or even seeing Joel suffer through his young female companion's indecisiveness when picking clothes would have been an awesome addition to this already great adventure. I guess you could say I was hoping for more, but in no way can I complain about what we are actually treated to.
That's alright. I believe it.
It's a known fact that generally most great stories don't need pretty pictures to support the narrative they are trying to tell. The Last of Us not only assaults your imagination with a very well written story, but also presents us with a world living in the ruins of itself. Everything from the bare bricks of abandoned towns to the untouched forests of the American wilderness come to life with a quality many generally don't see on a home console.
Oh man, you can't deny that view.
This is a game that ignores the generic browns and greys of many shooters and instead conveys a palette of extraordinary colours that will make you just as immersed in this game's world as its characters. In a cool way, The Last of Us world and locations have their own stories to tell, and this couldn't have been made possible without Naughty Dog's excellent eye for detail.
That is a winner though.
Though while I may hold the environmental visuals up to the glistening sun like a long-awaited messiah, it is the game's characters that truly steal the show. There haven't been many, if any, games in existence that have consisted of characters that express this much emotional conflict and soul since our favourite movies.
Shut the hell up. Are you serious?
In some ways, you'll completely forget that the faces you are looking at aren't real people, and instead soak in every tired wrinkle on Joel's face and heartfelt smile on Ellie's lips. It can't be forgotten too that The Last of Us doesn't stop at showing just its main duo, the aesthetic love of a brush running on a canvas. As mentioned, we are treated to a collection of supporting characters that in all honesty could have taken the lead role at any time. So much love and passion was put into this game's cast, and it really shows throughout. The same can also be said for the game's standout vocal talent that isn't just closed off to the human side of things, but also the infected. It would be a lie if I said the game would still be perfect without the clicks and cries of its supported zombie-like cast. More than a few times you'll be safely enjoying your already tragic quest for hope when you're suddenly surprised and put on alert by a faint tickety click of a wandering clicker.
God damn it.
It's interesting to see a foe that, in all fairness, could be grouped with a more generic type of infected enemy from other games. These hobbling adversaries, though, bring something fresh and truly terrifying to a game that developers haven't really tackled the atmospherics of the horror genre before. All I can say is that this is a game world that will truly suck you in from the start, and this is something to be truly proud of. To be honest, it's weird to think of The Last of Us as some kind of survivalist test. It follows a linear path, and so what opportunity or reason could be given to limiting the player to annoyances like limited ammo or a lack of health packs? What is clever about how The Last of Us works is that while you will always follow the same road to your destination, the game gives you free rein in how you approach situations of life-threatening proportions. Now obviously in a world that is running low on ammunition, you need to be tactical about how you use your resources, but The Last of Us actually gives you more options on how to take down your different factions of foes than you would think. As mentioned, this is an era where pre-made tools are running pretty slim, and so improvisation is key. During your many battles you'll be required to, as one would say, mix things up by making a variety of deadly concoctions like Molotov, shivs, and even homemade tin grenades. What this means is that the game really wants you to think like that of a survivor. On more than one occasion you will find yourself examining the abandoned rooms in hope of finding resources that we would generally take for granted in our own world. In some ways you'll never be so happy to find a pair of scissors or tape, because in The Last of Us it actually means a difference between life and death. Thankfully the easy-to-use crafting and combat complement each other in the confrontations you are forced into. It is kind of interesting to see a linear action-adventure handle resource management so well. For example, at one point you may only have one round left in your trusty shotgun, but that one lonely shell might be your only safety net in breathing your next breath. Thankfully, after checking your backpack, you find those scissors and tape from earlier to make a trusty shiv. In a way, you come to appreciate the little things and ultimately be tasked with thinking outside the box. What is great about this is that the game doesn't force this type of gameplay on you at every turn. You can play guns blazing or post-apocalyptic stealth ninja and still have enough resources to change things up the next time. I guess you could say it strikes a very positive balance without bullying you into playing the way the game wants you to. What's more is that you can refine these abilities with the opportunity to take supplements in pill form to upgrade Joel's bag of abilities. Gobbling down some rare pills to increase weapon accuracy in a much needed battle, or cramming even more down to short and slow crafting speeds is an always welcome addition. Though if a person can upgrade their traits, then what about their weapons? Joel even has a few opportunities to visit workbenches to upgrade his vast collection of deadly firearms. Benefits like armor-piercing rounds to crack an enemy's body armor, or a handy side holster to quick change weapons in a time of need are all clear benefits when trying to survive the American wastes. Joel's talents don't stop there either, as he comes with a kind of sound sonar that allows you to spot nearby enemies behind walls and obstacles. What's quite cool about this feature is that it allows you to plan your next move or ordering kills. Now while this may seem like it makes the experience a little too easy, it actually sticks to the fine balance as I mentioned. Alerted enemies can actually use the sound radar to throw you off their tracks and even lunge at you for a surprise attack, which in some ways makes the attacking humans seem just a little more clever as, well, real humans. Let's not also forget the infected side of the opposing forces that'll even stalk you in closed corridors and wait for the perfect time to strike. Nothing says freaky like checking your sound ability for 1 second, only to turn around and realise that infected is snuck up behind you, ready to chew on your face. What The Last of Us is able to accomplish is an AI that sure isn't the smartest in the world, but when threatened might be one of the most dangerous foes in recent video games yet. One thing that came as a surprise to me though, is that the combat isn't the only way in which the game tries to draw you in. In between tense battles or even safe spot conversations come opportunities to scavenge the areas not just for supplies, but also collectibles that unlock secrets of those days gone past. It could be collecting notes from past survivors, or even finding comics for the occasionally bored Ellie. Most of the things you come across bring some form of conversation or response between our duo, and it will keep you wanting to search for more goodies throughout.
Okay, I know it doesn't look like it, but this here is not a bad read.
Now, as we know, we live in a time where developers feel a need to attach online components where single-player products may just be enough. But while you may initially roll your eyes at the presence of the game's factions mode, you may actually be surprised at what is in store here. If Naughty Dog's development history has taught us anything, it is that they don't screw around when it comes to multiplayer. What we have here is a choice between 2 game modes that pits the cannibalistic hunters against the cure-searching fireflies.
We heard there are supplies in the area, but also uniforms. We watch each other's backs.
So, what makes this so special? What could possibly make us salivate over multiplayer? Give me a break. Wait, you're telling me that the multiplayer plays just like the single player? You can craft items and dispense justice on your enemies? Post-apocalyptic teabagging for all? Well, sign me up, Survivor Sam! Not only does the multiplayer replicate the single-player gameplay to a T, but it also brings mechanics to keep you coming back for more. In a way, you could say that the online multiplayer brings a kind of Tamagotchi taste to the combat side of things. During matches, you will not only be killing players for bragging rights, but also for bagging supplies. These supplies then help feed your little petri dish of numeric survivors. How many you keep alive goes towards helping you unlock more goodies, like awesome hats, masks, and even weapons. What makes this so special is that losing matches can actually take a toll on your survivors, and with the added mission features, it can mean an ample blossoming for your people, or a very cruel death. What this helps promote is getting you and your team to work together as one. The more benefits that you bring to your team, the more supplies you make, but the less teamwork that is done, then the less supplies you get for your people. What's also nice to note is that a little social feature was added to this multiplayer styling. Through the use of Facebook, you can actually replace all of your little survivors with social media friends. Now you'll have even more reason to fight just to keep little cousin Timmy alive, or he may just not see next Christmas. Wait a minute, my sister is dead? Oh my goodness! Sis, are you? Oh, you're okay? Sorry, my PlayStation just told me that you got murdered by a flesh-eating... Hello? Hello? Did she hang up on me? Oh, god damn it. There goes my Christmas card. Wait, what were we doing? Oh yeah. Either way, The Last of Us is a game many knew would already be a AAA roller coaster. Developer Naughty Dog have time and time again proven that they are a breed of game creator not to be trifled with, and what better proof than a game that takes them out of their comfort zone. What we have here is a game so finely crafted that it could be one of the greatest standalone games of our time, or the beginning of another beautiful franchise. All we need to know for now is that The Last of Us is an experience every mature gamer needs to get in on, no matter the cost.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
So minions, what's it going to be? Does The Last of Us deserve a moist filling of perfection, or should it be handed a burnt lump of disappointment? I don't know about you, but I'm gonna give this game a Mega Muffin! Oh my goodness, the almighty top-scoring Mega Muffin! The Last of Us is definitely a game no one should miss out on, but what about you minions? What do you think to The Last of Us? Proxy would love to know, but until next time, ciao!